Ms. Cracker played Dorothy Parker.
I can't relate.
Oh.
This is too much.
Too much.
The days of the hula glow, most stow and in the hole, we're all going through hard years. Ooh, I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. DJ Soul was on a roll. I've been told the gambit soul is not vicious or malicious, still so lovely and delicious. I couldn't ask for another.
So hot, gotta tell when you wanna know. Delightful, truly.
Who's gonna be the lip sync assassin this week?
I know. Do you want to do this again next time?
Yes, absolutely.
Truly making it new, especially.
How are you?
Oh, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's been a rough week, but I'm so happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too. I had the pits week, so seeing you is the perfect remedy.
It really is. And happy 4th.
Oh my God!
No?
Is today the 4th? I just didn't know. I just threw on this, this old thing.
I mean, it's the holiday weekend.
Right. This is what I wear when I don't care who sees what I'm wearing.
We're gonna have a lot of fireworks in the background, maybe, because of the holiday weekend. So that's gonna be fun.
That's fine because there were a lot of fireworks on this episode.
Yes!
Girl. Nat.
I'm so ready.
Oh my God.
All my notes are here. I got my notes ready.
I did too. On cards like a professional hoe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead. Oh my gosh. Oh, cheers.
Cheers. Clink, 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 clink. I'm using my Bon Life mug that I got when I was in Cleveland, Tennessee. I found out my friends owned a coffee shop. So Bon Life, if you're in Cleveland, Tennessee, go to Bon Life and use promotion code NATNKIP.
Yes.
You won't get anything off, but you'll get kicked out immediately.
If you could sum up this episode in one word, what would it be?
Buffoonery.
Yes.
I spent 3/4 of this episode like this. Buffoonery.
Yeah, so, we said goodbye to who last week? Was it Mayhem?
Mayhem.
See,
yes,
I forgot. Yeah, because she's doing the towels. I already forgot about her.
Oh, and they echoed our sentiment exactly. Like, they were mad. And unbeknownst to them, we knew she had voted for herself.
She voted herself? Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know, and they were mad.
Yep. Shay even said it the same thing you said like a few weeks ago, too. You're taking up somebody else's spot.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not fair.
Also, were you... I think maybe I intellectually knew that, but not a single vote for India.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't normally like to do like the drag speak, but I wrote I was shooketh. But I really was. I was kind of like, not a single, like, what do they see? What do they know? Or did they hate Mayhem that much? But it goes to show you that if you give up, you're done.
You give up. I told you, India fought. She fought for her spot. And Mayhem was just like, And that doesn't translate well with people you're competing against.
No.
So, yeah. So they saw it too.
I also thought it was strategic because if I was in a beauty pageant, would I want to compete against Naomi Campbell or Katy Perry? I'd want to compete against Katy Perry because Naomi
Exactly.
Campbell would blow me out of the water, and I hate Katy Perry with every fiber of my being. And
Aww.
oh, I do. Her and I go way back. We have a big, huge beef, and I'll tell you about it sometime. So it's also very strategic to get rid of Mayhem if the choice is Mayhem or India, because India may not be the strongest competitor. So it's not
Right.
like you're going to have to wrestle the crown out of her hands, unless the crown is in Mimi I'm First's hands while she's lifting up India and twirling her, that type of scenario. But it's an easier journey, no matter who you are. If India Farah is the hurdle in your way,
Then they were kind of like ranking themselves as who was considered the front runner, and I love that Blair was just kind of like sitting there like, and they were like, "What about you, Blair, over there all quiet?" She's probably over there like, "Count me out, guys, count me out."
Shay was doing that thing where you're the best, and so she's like, well, number one.
She was doing that.
Number one is Cracker, and I love Cracker, but I wouldn't consider Cracker as the front runner. Shay picked Cracker as the front runner, and then she said Juju was number two, and then Shay was like, and I'm coming up in the lead. And it's like when that one friend of yours that is never ever going to get married comes to your house at midnight crying, saying she'll never get married, and you're like, yes, girl, yes you will. You're going to find somebody who is. And that's what Shay was doing. Shay was like, Cracker, yeah, but there's no way, unless I can't even imagine a scenario at this point where Cracker is the front runner. She won one challenge. I wanted to kind of go back and touch on something. After watching last week's episode and really thinking about it, don't you think that Juju should have won that episode? I could not stop thinking about Juju's character and her runway. And I have to be honest with you, I know Crackers was great and we ate it up, but Juju was hysterical.
I personally still felt like Miss Cracker won based on her runway. I think that's what kind of gave her that little smidge of a lead, because Juju's cape was kind of lacking something.
That is true. Yeah, I just, how in the Oscars, remember where Renee Zellweger deserved to win for Chicago, and then they gave it to her the next year for Cold Mountain. So I felt like Juju, I was like, it was one of those missed Oscars. But yeah, anyways, but yeah. So I was shocked that Shay. If I was Shay, you know what I'd say? I'm the front runner.
Rue comes into the workroom and suit. I like the suit. I actually like the suit.
Good suit. Yeah, I'm in 100%. I don't have a backstory for it, but I like it.
You don't have a backstory. And then he announces that the challenge this week is Snatch Game of Love.
I know. I was like, why are you doing? Just do a regular Snatch game.
Snatch Game, please.
You know how in a Snatch Game when these people are bombing? Well, you know that, but then we get to this one. You can't look away. You can't turn away. You're there for 15 minutes watching somebody flounder. It is it's an offense to our senses.
It is. It is. It really is. The concept's nice, but that once is twice or how many times they've done it is good enough.
I agree 100%.
Don't mess with something that's that good. The regular Snatch Game that's it.
You can't tell me this is a popular change.
No.
The feedback on this is universally disliked. So
I think I understand what they're doing. You've done Snatch Game on All Stars, maybe not. I mean, on your regular season, maybe not. But then when you get to All Stars, you're doing a twist on Snatch Game, but the twist just doesn't fly.
Nope.
Just don't do Snatch Game then, if that's the case. That's
right.
The way I see it. Just don't put it in All Stars. Juju's decided to do Eartha Kitt. We've already had 2 people who have failed at portraying Eartha Kitt.
Right?
So we've already got the story built up like, oh Lord Juju, you gotta save this girl, you gotta save this. We're relying on you
Right.
to save Eartha Kitt.
Can somebody please do Eartha Kitt justice?
Do it right. Yeah. Shay, bold choice. She decides to go with Flavor Flav.
I know. I was scared out of my mind. At first I was like, oh, she's gonna say that, and then they're gonna tell her not to. Like, I thought her story arc was gonna be like I thought the Flavor Flav was gonna be a red herring, but
I have a lot of confidence in Shay, and maybe that's me being blind, but I just have a lot of confidence that the choices she makes are sensible choices. Yes. When it comes to this competition. So I was like, you know what? I have faith. Alexis does Walter Mercado.
Mm-hmm. You can't tell me that RuPaul knew who that was. When he walked in, he goes, I know that hair. That's Walter. I was like, who did, what? No.
Are you sure though?
I saw through that ruse. I saw right through that ruse. But then he goes, oh, well, he's a spiritualist. And I was like, oh, maybe RuPaul did. Because remember when there was that drowning man that RuPaul saw? And he said, I prayed for... That sounds like somebody... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he probably was familiar.
Yeah.
I personally had never heard of him. The only reason I kind of knew who he was is because there's legit a documentary coming out about him at some point. And I saw the trailer on, I think, Facebook or something, on some social media platform, and I was like, who is this guy?
No, yeah. RuPaul can't even remember Pearl's name. So I'm like, oh, okay, Ru. Okay, yeah. You know whose hair that is. I thought it was Carol Channing's hair. So...
And then you notice through the walkthrough, they didn't touch on Miss Cracker.
Not a bit. With a 10-foot pole, they didn't touch on her.
But come to find out, she decides to do Lady Gaga, which is probably the reason why.
Oh my God. Wait, for 1 second when I saw her, I was like, oh, Miss Cracker did Evita.
Yes!
I thought it was Evita!
I thought so too. You know what? I thought the same thing when they were like introducing and I saw the hair, and I was like, oh, she's doing Evita Peron. And then when she said Lady Gaga, I was like, oh.
Oh. I almost forgot. I was like, which one? Yeah.
Blair chose Ellen.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else could Blair have done, in your opinion?
I feel like if Blair... But see, the problem is she'd already done it in the workroom. Because I was like, she could have done Justin Bieber. But I feel like she probably would have pulled off Justin better.
Yeah.
Than Ellen. So I think that's what happens with a lot of like these queens that choose their like Snatch Game characters. It's like they go with the people that are popular, the people that they think they can pull off in the sense of like their one-liners and how they think, and then they miss the mark entirely, which is why picking someone like Jeffree Star, as India did, you know, it's like if you don't religiously watch his videos all the time, I don't think you can pull him off. You know?
Yeah.
That's a bold choice.
It's a bold choice, all right. Also, controversial. If I was Jeffree Star's twin brother and I went on All Stars, I would not play Jeffree Star.
I wouldn't.
He just got, especially our community. I was like India, but then, you know, she actually didn't play Jeffree Star.
No.
So it was fine. Yeah. And then RuPaul's like, well, you should just say it's none of your What did he say? What's that one-liner?
Oh, I don't see how that's any of your business.
So, what did you have for breakfast? And then he says that horrible... I'm a mother. I can't say it, Nat. But, and then he goes... what was he saying? He said, weed and cock?
Yeah.
And I don't see how that's any of your business. I'm like, well, way to kill a joke.
But yeah, Blair hadn't done Snatch Game on her season, nor had India.
Well.
So.
Yeah.
So then we get to Snatch Game of Love, and we get the first round, or the first half, whatever you want to call it. And,
The first circle of hell?
yeah, the first circle of hell. The first, whatchamacallit, person looking for love. Tommy Dorfman.
Yeah, I had to talk to Siri about this person. Oh, he's from 13 Reasons Why, and I don't even have one reason why to watch that show. It's like How to Get Away with Murder. You already know every episode what's going to happen, but that Tommy Dorsey is no Viola Davis. So.
Then we get introduced, and we realize that Miss Cracker is not Ava Perón, but in fact Lady Gaga. And we're like, oh.
This is what I wrote for her performance. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was happening.
You know what it was? I think what stunned me was the fact that she came off of such an excellent improv acting win.
Yeah.
And she bombed.
Not only is she better than that, she was so cerebral through this entire thing. She couldn't come out of herself.
Nope.
She could not improv. She was terrified to be bad at this.
Mm-hmm. Poor India. There was no redeeming herself from that performance.
What did she do? She looked like... Okay, do you know Jeffree Star?
I've seen him.
He looks like a beautiful, 40-year-old LA woman with tattoos. She looked like somebody poured boiling oil on her. She looked like a cartoon ghost of a 14-year-old skateboarder that haunts people. I could not figure out what she was going for makeup wise. Well, he wears
tracksuits.
Tracksuits just like mine. He got the idea from me, and but yeah, he wears Gucci tracksuits or Louis Vuitton tracksuits.
Well, her tracksuit looked like the juicy tracksuit that Paris Hilton wore back in 2000.
Yes, yeah, it was a miss.
Then we have the second half, and it's Jeffrey Boyer Chapman, who I think is so cute.
God, he's just so cute.
He's dreamy. He's so dreamy. He's so charming.
He is.
You know? And you know what I really liked was the little storyline that him and Rue had, where it was like, hi, you didn't call. I thought that moment was so funny to me. And then they had their little long stares and their long passionate moments. And I was like, you know what? This made the Snatch Game of Love more interesting because everything else was just kind of
I know. I hope he comes on once a season and they do a bit like that. I hope that
would be
becomes
fantastic.
a recurring bit. Yeah.
That needs to be a running gag. Agreed. We're
God,
gonna
could you imagine?
have Blair playing Ellen, Eartha. So Blair's Ellen was better. I wrote better than Jeffrey and Gaga. That's literally what I wrote. That's literally what I wrote because I was like, it still kind of bombed and fell flat, but it was better than the two bad performances we saw.
It was not the bottom of the. Yeah, it was not the bottom. Yeah.
Eartha, I died.
The minute she, in my mind, she turned, but I mean, I was laughing from the very beginning.
It's you live it, I'm a frog.
Yeah. Her eyes are, you know how Judy's eyes are a little wonky. Mm-hmm. She had the eyes of Yzma from It Was so perfect.
I love that her and Shay played off each other because Shay's Flavor Flav was homework. When you talk about somebody doing their homework, textbook example. This is how you do it. And this was a risk, but you went all in. You went
Yeah.
all in. So.
Yeah, committing to a character, even if it's not like an immediate like guffaw, double overlapping character, a committal makes all the difference.
Exactly. Watching that second half of Snatch Game of Love, like for me, I was like, I don't know, Juju,
I thought it was Juju. Yeah,
Juju, Shay. Like I really thought it was Juju.
Yeah, I was not because I just was like, oh, of course they're gonna pick Juju, like of course, because like, you know, she had all the trappings of what you think they would. I mean, RuPaul was dying laughing at Alexis, so I'm like, they're gonna give it to Juju. You know, obviously, it went with the deserved actor.
Mm-hmm. So then we get to. Dum 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 dum. Cover girl.
Yes.
I was speechless. The way, okay, so Ru always glides down the stage just like a queen, like
right.
I own everything, you know, but that dress, like the way it just kind of glided down the stage with him, he was feeling his oats.
Oh God, yes.
Feeling his oats. He was like,
yeah.
I know you can't tell me I don't look good.
He went to Walgreens after work in that dress. That's how good it was. Yep. He's like, I'm not changing. I'm not changing after this.
I'm not changing after this. It's like usually I don't like to go out in drag, you know, unless it's for a special occasion. But you know what? Let's do a Walmart run in this.
Yeah. Who wants them all sorts?
Yes.
I'm buying.
Melissa, you coming? I mean, we can end the episode right there. Done.
Right?
Yeah, the dress was great. End of episode. The category was prom queen.
I know. I like the idea, and then again, like I do not understand why some people make the choices they make for these things.
Okay, before we go into everybody individually, who do you think wasn't on the same page?
Blair, who I love, but I mean, for someone who brings so much to certain runways, while I loved what she was wearing, this was not that challenge.
Really?
Now, not to say I can't rate them and like them. I'm just saying, like, that's my problem with this season. Everybody is doing whatever they want, and, like, you can make that peg fit in that hole, but it's not like, you know, like...
So maybe they have been renaming these then, because who knows? Maybe they were told to bring something, blah, 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 and maybe they're renaming these challenges or fine-tuning the names of these challenges when they get there. I found like Blair's to me fit the bill more than anybody else's because she was obviously trying to do the gender bend thing, but it was like, why, if you can't be a prom queen, why not be a prom king? What does a prom king wear? He wears a tux. You know, like she put a twist on it, and like if this was my fantasy, I don't have to wear a tux. I could wear a dress that looks like a tux, and I could be crowned queen or a king or whatever. I feel like everybody else's didn't fit the title of the theme.
I don't like when we fight. But wouldn't you love to see Blair in like dressed as Carrie on the prom? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things you could do for prom. Like, dressed as like Carrie with the blood, or have Miss Cracker as the prom queen, like with a sash and, you know, daggers in your back because everybody stabs you in the back. And
see, I could get that. Yeah, like that I understand.
I heard somebody say, Carrie Bradshaw, Sasha Velour, and my neck snapped so fast because I knew that they were talking to Shay, and I'm like, who would be so stupid to say that to her? And then I looked and I'm like, oh my God, it is. It's exactly that. Shay's gone crazy. And then, then she said it, and I was like, okay, I get it. And then she tacked on, she's like, so I decided I'll be queen of my own problem. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Yeah, so good runways, but I just want it to be solid parameters. That's just me. I'm old-fashioned.
Okay.
Oh, when RuPaul goes, Blair, my husband and I do an impression of you. No, he doesn't. And he said, you came down the runway and you went, shh. Oh, guess what? No, she didn't. She didn't. There's no picture of her doing it. And then I went back to the episode. She never did it.
She didn't do it? They showed a video clip.
No, she doesn't do it.
Where's that from?
She doesn't do it in the video. They only show her in the fur coat in the video. So then I was curious, and I was like to my coworker, Rainbow, I have to use the restroom. And I marched off, and I found the episode, and I looked at her runway. She never said shh. Never. It was made up, and I discovered it.
At the end of the day, I mean, category name aside, if we were just judging on the looks themselves, Miss Cracker's acne thing was cute. It didn't give me prom, but the idea was cute. It's Miss Cracker, Alexis, she had her hair down, glad, frigate, you know what? That's your quinceañera look. I'm all for it.
Right, whatever gets you off the stage quicker.
Right. India did the gothic thing. I like the gothic thing. Probably didn't fit, but it was cute. Blair, loved Blair.
Did you notice India? She's wearing the same pattern, the lace pattern that she got sent home with.
With the lip sync? Yeah.
From this, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what in the foreshadowing is going on here?
Juju's was cute. Shay, I like the concept, but yeah, the category was wrong. I'm almost certain that was not the category's name when they were given their list. There wasn't a bad look on the runway, but
crackers.
Yeah, but they're not like all-star looks.
No, exactly. I will say, I agree with you 100%. And based on the looks alone, for as much as I kind of bitched about it, if I was just judging on looks, Blair killed it. I wrote when they started talking to Shay, I just wrote, jeez, shit got real. Who would do that? Come up to you at a meet and greet, pulling petals out of your hat. I would have them removed.
I could see some fool doing that at a con for real. That's just... Ugh. And then, you don't have any sense of humor. No, I don't.
Nope. I lost $100,000. I don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, getting through the cracker at this point, I just don't think it's going to work anymore. She can have 1,000 pep talks on the runway. Nicole Byer spoke to her. It's not going to fix it, right? Immediately. So, no. Shay ended up winning.
Well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. I kind of wish Juju had won, but the reason why Juju wouldn't have won is because she didn't win Snatch Game of Love. Because if she had won Snatch Game of Love and then come out on the runway with that look, she probably would have won the challenge. I
guess that kind of factors in a weird way.
So then Ru goes, there are no more safe queens. If you're not on the top, you're in the bottom.
Yep, and I was like, yep, they hate India.
All the other queens are in the bottom, so now you got a chance to do some dirty work.
Oh my God! Did you scream when India's like, so can we talk one-on-one? And she's like, no.
Yes.
I was like,
Shay was like, I think I have all I need.
I have all the information I need.
I was like, okay, Shay, tell us what you know.
So India says that but then she's like, well, I need to talk to you, Shay. And then she goes back and she tells Shay. Now you walk me through this the way you, because to all, Alexis and Mayhem told India to vote for Shay to be eliminated. Who do you believe?
I believe Alexis. Because, you know why I believe Alexis? Because it comes back to the same thing. Why didn't they tell Mariah? Because Mariah ended up voting for India. And that whole group is supposed to be close.
Oh.
That's what Blair was saying. That was the one time I was like, Blair, you're making sense.
That one time, yeah.
You would think if they came to India and said, hey, we're going to vote for Shay now that she's in the bottom, you would think that they would also tell Mariah, so Mariah would vote for Shay as well and not vote for India. So it just doesn't make sense.
Do you think that India's mistaken?
It's mistaken into thinking what? That she's on this competition show?
I don't know, she has such conviction. Like, Alexis reacted like a liar. But India, maybe she just thought, you know, like when stupid people get caught up in things.
I'm done. I mean, if she misunderstood tremendously.
All right, okay, I'm gonna go with you then. I'm on Team Nat, so I'm gonna go with Alexis is telling the truth then.
You know why I also think that, why I believe Alexis, and why I don't believe India. I'm not gonna call India a liar. So maybe India did misunderstand. The reason I'm saying that I think India is wrong or is lying is also because every week India has fought. India has fought to stay in the game.
How long has she been sitting? Yeah. How long has she been sitting on this? How many episodes?
This would be 2 episodes. And then you bring this up now? Why didn't you bring it up last week when you were in the bottom with Ma'am? Yeah. Or
Any
after
other
the
time.
fact. Yeah.
Okay. I'm all right. We'll find out at the reunion.
But find out at the reunion.
I just felt like Alexis acted like a liar when she was being defended. Or when she when she was defending herself.
Defending herself.
She was like, oh, no, you dumb, get away from it. Like, I'm like, oh, I've seen that, but yeah, but.
The reason I also believe Alexis for like 2.5 seconds was because Mayhem in her talking heads had mentioned the fact of like, ooh, Shay's in the bottom. This would be the opportunity to vote out Shay.
But she did vote out Shay.
But she did. But she was the only one. Oh, Shay and back up.
See?
Back up.
Shay and Alexis. What?
Okay, so Alexis probably was lying then. Because she said India was not an option. She did say India was not an option. Remember?
America. Listen to us right now. Alexis Mateo is a liar. Wow. Well, you know what? We got it.
Glad we talked this out. Talked this out. Somebody is lying. Blair is confused.
Right, I just wrote reverse flip. Alexis is lying. Like, I'm convinced. Yeah.
So that we have the lip sync assassin. I've already established now that it's people that were available, who were like available from the Work the World tour,
yes,
or from Work the World RuPaul Live in Las Vegas. This is not RuPaul. These are just lip sync. This is people that have been on the show before.
Now, this was a blatant show of disrespect for we the viewers. I love Miss Vanjie. When she came out as a lip sync assassin, I was like, nobody loves us. Nobody thinks that we are smart people that read books.
We're not what?
No, they all think you cannot tell. Listen, the biggest lip sync that she did was No More Drama, and let me just tell you that yes, was it passionate? Yes, all it was. Like, it was just a raw passion. It was not. This is not Lip Sync Assassin, and I am furious that we are going to have to deal with calling it that for the rest of this season. But I'm telling you what, I will start a letter writing campaign. I will make sure that it is never called this again. So it's just not that. It's not that. I think the problem also lies with the music. There have been some really strange musical choices. None of these queens would ever lip sync to that song in a club. Because they're paying for the artist, they're not paying for the song. So if you're going to buy a Rihanna song, then make it S&M. Yeah, you can't get something from Confessions on a dance floor. Nobody would ever dance to Open Your Heart to Me. Gay men wouldn't even dance if that was playing in a club. That's when they'd go to the bathroom, or they would go to refill their Cosmos.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. Shay won.
No.
Did you for a moment think Shay was going to vote differently?
Yes. Well, okay, here's the thing. Like, the setup was so theatrical that I was like...
Yes.
But, again, I came from a place of believing India. So, I wonder how Shay's going to spin it.
And then India goes... I want to leave you with the what? The 4 H's or the 3
Oh,
H's?
for heaven's sake. She's like, hydrogen is an atom that we all need, and health is how we survive. Happiness makes... I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Now you're literate? You're literate now.
I can't.
She doesn't...
I can't. Yeah, I was like, girl, okay, India, we love you. Thank you for showing us the new you.
Right.
But bye.
Bye.
Girl, bye.
Bye.
Girl, bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. We tried. Listen, I stayed on that India train much longer than I ever expected to.
I mean, you didn't even give Derek Barry a second look.
No.
You gave India much more of a chance than Derek Barry.
Yeah.
But we tired of this. We tired of this now. We're not gonna stress ourselves over Mayhem anymore and Angina.
Right.
And Too Cool for School Mariah. We moved on of India. We're done. We're good.
Yep. The wheat has been separated from the chaff. That all that is gone. There's no my taste in players may differ from other people's, but there's no weak players. Mm-hmm. Everybody's a strong player in this game from here on out.
Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So it's like, yeah, it's time for her to go. She is the weakest of who's in the competition right now, and Miss Cracker's not going to be far behind.
I know Miss Cracker has got to listen. This is not any different than her season.
No.
So if she hasn't matured beyond this, confidence-wise or strategy-wise or how to play this game, then you know what? She could go next week. I love Miss Cracker, but if this is going to be the same thing,
we're not doing this again.
I want to see more of Blair. I don't want to see this again. So it's like we don't have time. We
don't have time for it. We don't.
If there's no new story, why are we doing this? Why are we here? Tatiana came in with a brand new story in life, and we fell in love.
We ate it up.
I don't need to see Cracker eating herself again, like a snake eating its tail. I don't need that.
No. So, bye, India. It was great.
Bye, India.
See you in the future.
Bye, India. You know what? She said pig in a wig, and that kept me confused for weeks. So. Again, they're sleeping on Blair too.
Yeah, they are. They still are. So let them sleep.
Let them sleep.
Let them eat cake. Let them sleep.
Let them sleep. As long as we got Shay in the top when we're going into the finale, I don't care who's with her. I'd like it to be Blair, but
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh, do you want to do this again next week?
Absolutely.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so fun.
I look forward to next week.
Me too. Bye.
Bye.
She doesn't say, she can't string 2 sentences together in 5 episodes. She has one job to do, and it's to say a funny line and leave the stage, and she's like, H is for the happiness you bring. I'm like, for heaven's sake, India. This is not the Bob Hope Christmas special.